The contents of this video have been taken from a best written article online which is ranked #1 in Google SEO. This video is going to be an absolute banger. Now, a lot of people have made a lot of content on this topic of art of charm, but most of them are trying to sell you a fucking course. So they never fucking reveal the entire truth behind what is it that you can actually do and never give out really good strategies. But we at Revit, we don't really care about making charming courses or, buy our course, be charming, that sort of thing. So we're going to give you and unload the real strategies that you can use to become the most charming person that you've ever fucking been. And then deploy all of those strategies to just use and leverage network effects. So let me proudly bring to you the Art of Charm featuring Neal Caffrey. Let's start the video. Now, people who have watched White Collar will 100% attest to the fact that Neal Caffrey as a character is the most charming character to ever have been created or exist. Fun fact, I actually share my birth date with this guy. My birthday is coming soon. Silent plug-in.
Happy birthday!
But anyway, a very good close character analysis would actually tell you that, like Tony Stark is also regarded as someone that's super charming as well.
You ever lose an hour's sleep your whole life?
Be prepared to lose a few with you.
I have successfully privatized world peace.
Tony Stark as a character has a charm of hyper intellect, a lot of money, and all of that acts as a combination of different things that help us feel that he is really charming as well. But I'm telling you, this character Neal Caffrey is the most charming character to have ever been fucking created. If you haven't watched White Collar, I encourage you to watch White Collar just so that you can observe this character and just take inspiration from this character. I think every man can actually watch this character and just understand that, there are things that you have to learn in life, and this character embodies all of those things. So how I see about this, I see three phases in the concept of Art of Charm, right? First one's the introduction, the second one's building rapport, and the third one is keeping rapport. Because at the end of the day, if you're not able to keep the rapport that you've built, what the fuck are you even doing it for, right? So let's start with the introduction. First things first, so as a part of your introduction, right, the first thing that matters the most in your introduction is the impression you're going to give off, and the biggest effector of your impression is actually how well dressed or underdressed you are, right? It's a harsh reality that people will judge you and form an impression of you in 3 seconds or less. I'm not sure if you follow me on Instagram, but I also drop some real hard truths in life on Instagram, and I've actually covered this in detail because it's just a hard truth, man, that people will form an impression of you in 3 seconds or less, right? The only individuals that are absorbed from this reality के उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कि उनका कोई impression गलत रहे है या नहीं ले रहा है, is when you have hyper success, right? For example, Steve Jobs was famous for wearing a very basic t-shirt and like Skechers shoes and whatnot, but dude, Steve Jobs was like a whole new level, right? There is no correlation between, he got to that level by wearing a basic black t-shirt and a basic shoe sort of thing, because correlation does not mean causation, right? It's an absolute fact. So you've got to worry about your impression, and you've got to worry about how well dressed you are. And when it comes to dressing, here are the few pointers that you should always keep in mind. So in terms of clothes and how you should be dressing for creating the right impression, trust me, I'm not trying and advocating about being a fashion mogul. If you actually look at my wardrobe, you'll see the most basic shit. And to tell you a very honest thing, I have not even bought any clothes in the past 1.5 years, right? Just like last year you did not need any clothes because COVID and whatnot, but yeah, like you basically need a basic wardrobe. And in the basic wardrobe, the only thing that you should always keep in mind is that you're wearing your right size. And as long as you're wearing your right size, trust me, 90% of your problems are solved. Because most people don't wear the right size. Just wear a shirt that fits you well, or a t-shirt that fits you well. If you want to keep another thing in mind, another thing that you could actually just like think about is, depending on your skin tone, what colors will look good on you. For example, if I wear darker colors because I'm fair, I'm actually going to look better, because like it accentuates my fairness of my skin tone and whatnot, right? So just also look into what skin tone you have and then dress appropriately. And this exact same advice works really well for girls and boys. So regardless of what your gender is, wear your size and wear colors that like accentuate your skin tone. And that's the only two things that you should keep in mind when it comes to being well dressed, because at the end of the day, having a great impression purely on the basis of what you're wearing is great, right? But even if you don't have the best impression purely on the basis of your clothes, you're not going to lose out on the advantages that you can, provided you follow the rest of the strategies. So keep this in mind. So the second thing that you have to absolutely keep in mind is your body language. Your body language and your tonality make a huge difference on how people will, like form an impression of you. I mean, what the fuck, man? Did you see and notice the difference? I mean, don't slouch. Just, like have your natural body's physique. Like have your arms on the side. And I'll genuinely give you a very good thing for you to actually know your right posture. I'll shoot a B-roll video that I will show here. Welcome to my B-roll. Here you will find me do stupid things, because at the end of the day, there should be a healthy balance of intellectual sophistication and also borderline stupid, crazy cocaine energy. And if you're able to follow and balance this out, I think you're going to succeed in life. But again, to talk about what are the different things that you need to keep in mind to actually just have the right posture. So stand up, throw your arms in the air, and then try and reach as high as you can without raising your feet, and then bring your arms down to the side. This is your ideal posture. Pro tip, walk slower, look everyone in the eye, and always keep your head high whenever you are walking or in a social gathering. This is going to accentuate and invite everyone's attention to you, and you can bank a lot on that. Wink. Now, the last bit of the introduction is actually how are you going to go and introduce yourself. Right now, in our generation, the biggest fucking problem is that we are so used to just, like, sup bro, what's up, yo, yeah, blah, 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 right? That we have absolutely forgotten the rules of engagement of how you're going to go and introduce yourself when you are introducing someone for the first time, because we are so used to introducing ourselves online, right? And online is very different from the real world. So when you're doing it in the real world or you're trying to be charming, you've got to remember that the best working thing, and I've tried this so many places, is just go walk up to someone, say hello, and then extend your arm to shake hands and just say your name. Hello, Chaitanya Sharma. You can call me Chai, right? And two things are going to happen. Either the person is going to grab your hand, introduce themselves, remember their name, or they're going to be like, and that's only 1 in 10 chance of actually happening. Because if you are doing everything else right, you're looking well dressed, you are, like you have proper body language and you sound confident because you have your right tone, nobody is not going to shake your hand and, like introduce themselves, because like social mechanisms are involved. So this is exactly what you do. Hey, it's me. Just wanted to take 10 seconds of your time to quickly remind you that it takes a lot of effort on my part to bring you guys all this value. It's absolutely free for you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment in the algorithm. It's truly going to help me because I'm a small YouTuber and I'll keep bringing you guys the valuable information that I'm delivering. So see you around. Now, after having the perfect introduction comes the part and portion of building rapport, and this is where most people suck. Right, a lot of people get the introduction right, but when it comes to building rapport, they fall flat, right? Because they don't know what to talk about, they don't know what are the things that you should do, blah 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 blah. And let's dive into 5 different strategies just for building rapport, so that you can build rapport with just about anyone, I'm going to be absolutely honest here. There is no quick fix for building rapport, and you should obviously keep these things in mind. Do not be pretentious, do not be fake, do not try to drop names and use these social mechanisms to, like invite people, because trust me, all of this shit, this does not work out in the long run. You can get quick results. If you're looking for quick results, we'll like talk about a different strategy in a different video. But if you're talking about genuine building rapport, there is no quick fix, there is no pretentiousness, no amount of garbage shit tactics is going to help you out. So keep that in mind. So the number one thing in building rapport, be genuinely interested in people, generous and kind. See, as a generation, we are so fucking self-obsessed, right? We are so full of ourselves that it is absolutely rare for us to come across people that are so interested in us outside of like them being sexually attracted to us and whatnot. That's also like a huge like thing that we as a generation are sort of struggling with. There is such vanity in terms of like just sexual attraction. Like that's a different topic altogether. But yeah, the point is that being genuinely interested in people can get you so far, like so far when it comes to actually building relationships. Because hota kya hai कि whenever we're trying to talk to someone or we're trying to meet someone new, we're trying to keep a scorecard in our head. And if you can get rid of the scorecard, it will be so awesome. For example, like imagine you're trying to talk to someone and you're trying to get them to have a conversation, you're asking them questions, you're asking them, like, so what are your accomplishments? Like what is something that you're really proud of? And they give you an answer, and instead of appreciating them and like genuinely being like, wow dude, like, you know what, I'm really happy that you had to hear that, like you had, you did it, man. Like really, I mean, I'm so inspired and overwhelmed to hear this. I'm totally going to use this as an inspiration later, right? Saying something like that, that's actually sincere and coming from a place of appreciation. Most people go like, oh, you know what, I also did something really cool, man. I mean, like in my 6th grade, I came first in a race. Dude, fuck you, right? You do that, nobody is ever going to like be around people like that, because at the end of the day, like this behavior as well that comes from like, oh, someone told me something good, I'm going to tell you something good that happened to me. Oh wait, I'll tell you something better. I will tell you something better that happened to someone that I knew. Dude, fuck you. No, that is not how it works. So if you really want to build rapport with individuals, just forget the fuck about yourself and be interested in people. And trust me, that by itself will take you so far, because there aren't enough people out there that are actually trying to be genuinely interested in people and are also trying to be generous and kind and sincerely be helpful. Also, I'd like to tell you one thing to keep in mind. So I'm someone that tries to be genuinely interested in people and tries to be kind and generous and genuinely give them a listening hand, and I applaud them on all the good things they do. And I've met people that are just not used to having something like this done to them, and as a result of that, they absolutely mistake my generosity and kindness, and they're like, dude, what do you want? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, dude, like, this is how I am, like this is who I am. And they're like, dude, no, that's not how people are. What the fuck, right? I've been in situations where I'm just being kind and nice to people, and like some girls have also like just taken my niceness and generosity as like I'm flirting with them sort of thing. So if you are going to like have a personality switch and genuinely try to be interested in people, there is a chance that like at least 30% or 40% people are just going to be absolutely overwhelmed and think you're batshit crazy, because they just are not accustomed to this reality that, oh my god, someone's actually trying to be interested in me without having any selfish interests. Oh my god, right? So keep that in mind as well. So again, to summarize, be genuinely interested in people, generous and kind, and that's going to take you a long mile. And to give you a personal experience as well, like another side note, one thing, so I've been unkind, selfish, always thinking about my own vested interest, and I've also just like selflessly been interested in people and try to help them. And trying to help people has turned out a lot better for me, as opposed to just like being unkind and selfish all the time. Because this behavior of you genuinely being generous and kind gives you rewards over the long run. So it's really fun. Number 2 point in building rapport is don't be afraid of laughing at yourself, and always have the humility to make sure that you are not trying to come off as someone that's arrogant or ever feeling insecure or inferior, or are becoming a target of ridicule in a group setting, right? If you're one of those individuals that has the humility and laughs at their own mistakes and just enjoys mocking yourself, right, in a very witty, sarcastic way, you'll go a lot further than someone that is not able to take all of this, right? See, banter is one of those things that's just a part of life, right? I've genuinely, it's better to not have it, honestly, but banter with just about everyone that you meet and try to build rapport with is eventually going to sink into the conversation, and you having the ability to laugh at yourself is going to act and help you develop that thick skin. Because if if someone makes fun of you and you laugh with them, haha, dude, I know that I'm so stupid. Sometimes I just lose my shit, man. But it is what it is. It's who I am. Right? You say something like that, and people cannot ever hold shit against you. Because again, if you're doing something stupid and you laugh, people can't target your smart shit because you already admitted that was stupid and you laughed at it, right? So it's one of those things that will give you, this helps build rapport, right? Because at the end of the day, if there is a plus, if rapport is pluses and minuses, right, this is a situation that will give you a plus because you're being humble and you have the humility to laugh at yourself. And this also saves you from being a minus, because if you did not have the humility and you're like, how can you say that? Why are you saying this to me, right? If you did that, then you're obviously going to lose out on connections, because people are going to think, that sort of thing. So have the humility, laugh at yourself when you do something stupid. Next point in building rapport, introduce new people. Now, how does this make a difference? I'll tell you the perfect personal story for this. So I had a very good friend, right? He was one of my best friends, and then I also made a new friend in ISEC, right? And she was a really good friend of mine, he was a really good friend of mine, and I made both of them introduce each other because I thought, why the hell not? And they instantaneously hit it off, they started dating, now they're married. And the difference of trajectory of, how my rapport has grown with them is that earlier I would call them friends, and now they're literally a part of my family and they're an extension of my family, right? And introducing two people who really bonded really well is going to accentuate the fact that, oh my god, dude, who the hell introduced you? Me, right? So if two people are able to hit it off because of you, that's going to increase your rapport with both of them, which is why, which is where network effects comes in place, which is why your network is very sacred and shit. So introduce new people you think that can bond and gel really well, and that's going to increase your rapport with both of them. So let's go, bam. So next point on building rapport is be available but not too available. The point is that we are social beings, and scarcity is actually a very good addition to social currency. What do I mean by that? Whatever is too available, we take that shit for granted. It could be just about anything. If it's too available, you're always going to take it for granted, right? Similarly, when you have built the rapport, you think the other person likes you. It could be a colleague, it could be a friend, it could be a prospective partner, it could be someone that you're into or whatever, right? You think that person likes you back, they have, mutual trust, you have a thing going, you think they respect you and shit. Boom! Drop that ball on them and just, restrict your interaction with them for some time and make that scarcity. Because if you're too available, oh, you know what, he's too available or she's too available, dude. That's the biggest mistake most people make when it comes to building rapport. You're too available. If you're too available, you're not going to maintain and be able to keep the social currency. If you're not able to keep the social currency, boom, your rapport will not be there, right? So make yourself available, not too much, find a healthy balance, and once you have a thing going, restrict your interaction for some time, because that's going to add social currency and social credit to your building rapport portion. So let's go, get this started. Now, last tip in building rapport section is, and this is not for everyone, is to be mysterious. right? Now some people have the persona and the personality to actually just pull it off and be really quirky and build rapport on the basis of that dude, I don't know who this person is, I don't know what he's up to, but he has piqued my interest and curiosity, and I'm going to get to know him better so I can actually understand what the fuck is he up to, right? And same thing happens with girls as well. Dude, I don't know who she is, I don't know what she's up to, but I want to find out what she's up to, and because of that I'm going to get closer to her, right? So there are certain personality types and personality traits that just are able to do this very easily. I'm one of those people. I'm able to pique someone's interest very quickly and then just be mysterious and skedaddle, and everyone's like, dude, I've got to know what he's up to next, so I've got to get closer. So this isn't for everyone, but you can also use mystery and incorporate mystery in building rapport, because if you're able to create mystery and you have people's curiosity, boom, what other option do they have? They have to get closer to you. So that's these are the 5 things that you have to keep in mind when it comes to building rapport with individuals. And you do this, you be available, not too much, you're generous and interested in the other person, right? Combination of all the things that I've talked about so far, it's going to make you formidable in terms of building rapport. You can build rapport with just about anyone, and that's exactly what we're about. Because out of charm, bitches, let's go. So what's next? You've built rapport, now you have to keep it. Now dude, this is fairly easy. Okay, a lot of people say that this is hard, but no, it's not. Because if you're keeping the point of building a rapport being more interested in the other person than yourself in mind, as long as you're always keeping that, as long as you're maintaining your humility, that someone's doing banter, they're making fun of you, and you don't laugh at yourself and you walk away. No, as long as you're ha ha, let's go, and you are interested in the other person, you will never ever feel the need to do something overtly extra for keeping rapport with individuals. That's just how it is, which is why we spend so much time on building it, right? But here are 3 strategies for you to use to keep this rapport. Number 1, focus on agreements and not disagreements. See, the point is that just about anyone that you will ever interact in your life, there are things that you're going to agree on and there are things that you're going to disagree on, right? That's how life is. Like you won't find people that you can just agree everything on with, right? So the thing is that when there are disagreements, the point for you to always keep in mind is that whenever there are disagreements, you've got to remind yourself and the other person that, hey, you know what? It's fine. We have a disagreement, it's fine, we can agree to disagree. However, here are so many things that we always have agreed on, right? And as long as you keep focusing on agreements as opposed to disagreements, it's going to really keep rapport with this individual. Because at the end of the day, this is also like a sales strategy sort of thing, right? When you're trying to sell and when you're trying to negotiate with someone, right? The entire concept of negotiation and making a sale is all about focusing on where you agree, and just try to sideline where you disagree unless it's a major concern and whatnot. So sideline the disagreement, focus on the agreement, and it's going to help you to keep this rapport. So agreement. Number 2 in keeping rapport. See, everyone that you're going to interact with, you will have your special moments with them. Remember those special moments and highlight those special moments every month. Right? I'm not talking about highlighting it every day, but you having a healthy relationship of reminding yourself and that person that, hey, you know what? We spent that moment together and that made me feel amazing. Thank you for that, right? You have this genuine theme, right? Again, all of this will only work if you're following that, you have to be interested in the other person and you have to be generous and kind. Because if you're trying to fake any of this shit, you'll never be able to fake shit in the long term, right? You can fake month, 2 months, 6 months, but if you're not being yourself, you're never going to keep the rapport, right? So it's like a fuck all situation. So as long as you're being kind and you remind that other person that, you know what, hey, remember that awesome moment together? That was awesome, babe. That was awesome, bro. Do this, and this is going to help you keep this rapport perpetually. You will never run out of that feeling of empowered sharing together, and that's exactly what matters at the end of the day of the relationships, right? Because at the end of the day, people that you want to keep in and around you in life, right, they either enable you or they disable you, right? And reminding yourself of really awesome, amazing things that you shared together is an enabling factor as opposed to a disabling factor. And if you are someone that's also enabling, people would actually want you in their life, right? Because oh my god, dude, like that person makes me feel amazing, that person helps me out a lot, I want that person in my life, and I'm going to go extra out of my way to make sure that that person sticks in my life, which is exactly the position that you want to be in. So remind the person about the moments that you shared monthly, and you do that and it's going to be better. Last point on this list is that you've got to master the art of small talk. See, we are really busy individuals, and there are times when we just don't have the bandwidth and don't have the time to deal with different interactions, because at the end of the day everything takes up your brain energy. So you've got to be precise, you've got to tell things, and you've got to keep things small and short. So learn how to small talk. So that's it for today's video, guys, and honestly this is such a liberating feeling. So this long form content thing that I've got going ever since the last video is very liberating, because earlier I had to really try to define myself, and I'm a really expressive individual. I like to talk, and I like to really talk and express the ideas as vividly and as descriptively as I can to make sure that the message is being conveyed appropriately. And this long form content of where I'm just really not holding myself back or try to use as less words as I possibly could is helping me out a lot. I feel a lot more energized, and I believe that I am able to convey things in a way that you are also enjoying this. So I might have already broken this video in 2 different parts, but if it's not, and if it's one and you're still watching, I want you to know that I genuinely appreciate you and I wish you the best. Let's get charming! Out of charm, bitches, let's go! And of course, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and press that bell icon. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, the link's right here. Hit that follow on Revit India as well. We're going to start on Instagram real soon. And of course, comment, share, like, it's all free for you. It's going to really help us out with the algorithm. And of course, if you really want to build a rapport with someone, I'm telling you, go to the report section of this video, share this video with them, and then give them these tips, and then you can use this as a method of building rapport with them. Helping you up, my man. Let's go. So this is your boy Chai, aka Chaitanya Sharma, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.